Hi everybody, it's Gail here at Shabby Cottage Studio. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're stopping by to visit. I hope you all are doing well and surviving the busy holiday season. As of right now, I am filming this the first week in December, but I'm not sure when this video will be seen. I've done something a little different. I've decided that I have so much fun making ephemera and small items that I was going to go ahead and just make them when I felt like it and put them in my Etsy shop and see how it goes. So what I've got today is a couple of little, I'm going to call them little notebooks. They're hand-bound, tiny journals if you like, and an Ephemera Folio. So that's what I'm going to share today. I also want to say thank you to those of you who leave such kind comments. They're very appreciated. They really mean a lot. So thank you so very, very much. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you the little notebooks, because this one I have to take it apart and there's a lot of items in it and it's going to make a mess. So I will set this aside. These are very similar. There's just, some of the details are different, but they're both approximately 4 by 5 inches. They've got 28 pages front and back, and then the inside covers. My binding on this is a little different than I normally do. I usually do a 3-hole or 5-hole pamphlet stitch, but on these, because they were small and I felt that it would hold up, I actually did document style binding. So let's get into these. I found some images of some beautiful ladies that I liked, and I just collaged them with some book page and scraps. This one's got a little cheesecloth under it, so did that on the cover, kept it fairly simple. Let me smooth this over. And when you open this, this is antique French book from the 1700s. That is the inside page. And then some more vintage book page, and then just collage some scraps on it to give one a place to write. This is an authentic envelope from 1943, and what did I do here? There we go. At first I thought I forgot to leave an opening. It is a pocket, really. I promise. It's a pocket. And then on the back, just an image. Some beautiful black and white illustration of florals. I did a little stenciling on this book page. And just more book page. Again, a vintage, this was from a vintage art book about the history, I think, of Italian art. And then some vintage sheet music from an old hymnal. Is that? Nope, sorry. I thought I did a pocket there, but I did not. And then just did some collaging on this page with a little bit of lace. I did use some digitals in these books from Heather at Ruby and Pearl and Rachel at Roxy Creations. Just some a lace digital paper. So I'm just going through. I did a little sari silk here on the corner, just for some interest. And a little die cut of a doily. I'm trying a new setup today because I'm still not 100% happy with my lighting, so I'm hoping, and we'll see if this is any better, but I keep playing with ideas. So my setup is, my camera is a little different today. It's on a different side of me, so I'm hoping this shows up. Just a little faux old aged tape. More stenciling on the book page. And this is, I have, let me see if I can get my, it's like a brown dotted Swiss, and it's just a flip then over this illustration, and I just aged it. This is an image from Ruby and Pearl, and stapled it. I stapled the lace to the image. And then this also is a pocket. And then just a pretty image. And hopefully you can see I've done a embossed frame on that. Shine brightly. We must strive to shine brightly. And then more book page. And the back of the journal. And let me just show you, here is the binding. You see it's 2 holes here and 2 holes here, and then tied on the outside. So that's that one. This one, again, similar pages, just a little different. This one I just I stenciled on some vintage paper that I have for writing, and then another authentic envelope. This one's from 1944, and this one has a top pocket. Another illustrated floral. This is some beautiful roses stenciled on some, this is a German book page. More book page, just a little decoration there. More from the vintage hymnal that I have. And then here I just added some lace and a beautiful black and white image. You don't belong in there. And then some more of that that silky sari silk. Yeah, that is sari silk. I'm sorry. I had a moment of self-doubt. That is sari silk. And this is the other side of that envelope with a die-cut frame and some faux age tape behind it, and a nice word, balance. We all need balance in this world. And yes, this has, okay, a top pocket. And then another image, beautiful rose. And that's the end of that little notebook. I just thought these were sweet, and they would be fun to throw in a purse or a backpack, give them in Happy Mail, give them as a little gift to someone, tuck it inside a larger gift as a little extra. I just think they're really, really sweet. All right. Okay, and now we've got this ephemera folio I'd like to share with you. I've tied everything up in a sweet package and used crinkle seam binding for the closure. If you've never done the crinkled seam binding, it's really, really easy. All you need to do is get a spray bottle and dampen the length of seam binding that you want, however long you decide you want it. This one's a really long length. You don't have to have a spray bottle. You could certainly just wet it, take it to a sink and wet it, or dip it in a little bowl of water. If you do that, though, just make sure that you wring all the water out of it. You don't want it wet. You just want it, you want it wet, but you don't want it sopping wet. And then you want to take like a small Ziploc bag, a plastic bag. At least this is how I do it. Now, maybe other people do it differently. This is just the way I've always done it. So take a small, like a Ziploc bag. I don't have one here. I do have a big one, though. This is overkill. It's way overkill. But what you want to do is take your seam binding and just wad it all up, and then put it into the corner. This is how I do it. I put it down into the corner of my my bag, and then I twist it. Now you've got a wad of seam binding down here. I twist it and I clip it so that it stays twisted. And then I just let it dry that way. It may take a couple days. may take a day. It just depends on temperature, weather, all of that affects it. But and then when you take it out, you've got these lovely crinkles, and they stay in it. The way they would come out is probably if you got it wet again, or if you ironed the seam binding. But that's just how I do it, and I find it very easy. So I'm going to untie the seam binding, and I'm going to remove these two pieces. Got something on that, we'll take that off. And this is the folio. I wanted to show you the back and how the seam binding is attached. This is some fabric that I have stamped on, and I laid the seam binding down and then glued the fabric over it so it is attached to the folio. Okay, so let's move this out of the way and start with this page. This has been embossed stencil on this page, and I do know that this is a Ruby and Pearl image from one of her kits because I absolutely love this. This is my color of pink. Love it, love it. Some ledger paper underneath, sandwiched in between is some of that brown, some brown polka dotted Swiss. That's what I was trying to think of. And just aged the edges of everything. I just wanted to make this look like it had been around for a while and was well loved. And then when you open it up, there is this page. It's a trifold. I don't think I said it. It's a trifold. So this has got a pocket right here. Inside I've tucked a little, looks like a file folder, but it is a little accordion pocket thingy. So I've tucked that into that pocket. This paper is not available yet. This is a new kit that I'm working on. I'm working on a new tall and skinny kit, and this is one of the papers. Let's see, what else? So let's just open this, and this is the inside of the folio. Let me get in frame. Okay. So I've done a pocket here, two pockets over here. So we'll go through them one by one. So in this pocket here, I have tucked an avocado dyed doily. I've got a couple of authentic postcards. Just some pattern paper. This is part of the kit. I believe that this paper came from Ruby and Pearl. And then I have antique French textbook paper. It's rag paper. You know how much we love rag paper. And then this French check or receipt. I believe it's a receipt. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I don't know. So that's what's in this first pocket. And I'm not going to try and put all these back. I'm just going to lay them aside, and I'll do that later. This paper is from Chapter 1. This background is one of mine from my shop. I've laid down vintage text paper on all sections of this, and then laid decorative paper on top of that, and again tried to just make the edges look aged. So in this pocket, this is a Roxy Creation digital, and I'm just going to take these out. And this, I do believe, is Chapter 1. This is one of my tags from one of my kits, and what it is, it's a double tag. So you've got an option here. You can fold it over and glue it together and just have a tag that's already printed front and back. You could actually use it as a journaling space. You could cut it in half and have two tags here. So there's that. I have this lace die cut. This is actually from the Graphics Fairy. I like this. I tried cutting this on my Cricut, and it's so detailed that is, it just doesn't cut out all of the little holes. And it could be me, I'm a new user, so I'm not totally 100% I'm choosing it right. But I like the way it looked, so I included it. And then some more vintage French book page and some more floral embossed stencil on that. And then on this segment, in this pocket, let me take these out, I've got another double tag from the same kit as the other one. And then I've got this large tag. I love this, it's very feminine. And then what I did was I included, these are from one of my papers from my shop, and I backed them with some vintage book page. So they're quite sturdy, so they could be journal cards, they could be tags, they could be anything anybody wants. And then this is, again, the same kit. No, I think this is a different kit, but it's one of mine. And then there is a pocket here. It's just, I just left a tab here. It's from a file folder, and I just covered the tab and left that there. So, oh, and then what I have here, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I had to take some water. What I have here is, this is a vintage glassine envelope, and I have added a lot of fun images in here. First, I added one die cut frame, and then this is a piece of like cotton. It's not, I think it was like an old pillowcase, and I added one of those. Am I too close? A floral sticker from Taperlogy, and you can't even tell. I love the way that turned out. And then here's another image that I printed on cotton fabric. So it's just a nice thin cotton fabric. And then one more image that I've printed on a cotton fabric. So there's some fabric images in this. And then I just added some decorative papers. This one I've printed front and back. And then these are just some sheets of avocado dyed paper. And then, let's see what we got here. I can't even remember. These are some images from Ruby and Pearl. Aren't they beautiful? Just beautiful. Also from Ruby and Pearl, one of her kits. Where's the other one? I cut out some of her, I think she calls this kit Beautiful Words. Not 100% sure, but I think that's what she calls them. So I added those. Oops, that one's upside down. So I've added those. And then just a small image of a postcard. This might be chapter 1. And I'm sorry, I don't remember. It's one of them. And again, it can be used for anything. This I know is Ruby and Pearl because I've used it before. That's how I remember. And then this is just an image of a postcard, of a vintage postcard. I don't know if you can see. I just noticed. Looks like there is an image here, almost like a floral image, but very, very faded. What this may be is when the postcard was scanned, it possibly could have been an embossed postcard, and that's why we're seeing, well, at least I can see it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. And then again, just another image to play with. So I just thought those would all be fun to work with in a journal or, you know, on tags, however somebody would like to do. So that is the folio itself. I had these on top of the folio, and what I've got here is a handmade envelope, and again some more floral embossing. And this, I colored the embossing paste a pale pink and added vintage crochet. I think it's part of an old doily. Some antique French book page, and then just some decoration. I did zigzag stitch on both sides of this envelope. This is one of images from one of my kits. The back. This is vellum. This is a Roxy Creation image, and I printed it on vellum. And then inside the kit, I'm sorry, inside the envelope is a journal card or a tag, however someone would like to use it. And then I have this little tiny glassine bag, and I put little tiny goodies in here if I can get them out. These are some words. I have a vintage typewriter, and I had this is some paper from a really old scrapbook that nobody had used, that sheet of paper, and so I put that in my typewriter, and I've just been typing words on that, and then I tear them out and just, you know, use them however I like. So I thought that would be fun to add some words to this kit. And then just some tickets, a couple sets of tickets, another ticket, there's another ticket, and inside I just have some different stamps, and I just kind of set them, set them inside the ticket. And then I've included some of my watercolor doodles. So that's what's inside that little glassine bag. And those are in the envelope. And then last but not least, I have this bag. And let me take this out. I've added a twisted tangle. Let's see, get this, there we go. I've added this twisted tangle. It's got a little button and a little crystal dangly, little piece of fabric, and then just some embossed scraps. This is one of those words that I've typed, that I've included in the glassine bag, and then I just used a piece of cheesecloth and faux rusty safety pin, some lace, a fabric ruffle, and then this is a paper ruffle. Again, I took an image and just aged it, put a photo, I don't know what the photo corner here, and I was inspired, this bag, I was inspired by Kate over at Kate's Space. Of course, hers were beautiful. And I love this, but it's kind of my spin on it. Hers were just so lacy and feminine, and I got a little bit grungy here with my femininity, which I do like to do. So this is just a little polka dot. It's a polka dot by this is a polka dot bag. I laughed at myself because I can't talk. And then inside I have some gorgeous images of children and some beautiful women. Just going to go through these. They make me think about like they're all dressed up for maybe an Easter parade. Should move these a little closer, shouldn't I? Isn't she gorgeous? Look at those dresses and the umbrellas. A lot of these, if not most of them, are from Heather at Ruby and Pearl. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. I had a tough time choosing one for the top of this bag, and so I had to kind of just go by size because I liked all of them. I love this one. I love that one. I love this one. I love them all. Look at that little cutie. And then another one of my favorites. So that's what's in the polka dot bag. And that is all that's in the folio. Like I said, this is a little different for me. I am going to list it in my Etsy shop. I'm just not sure when. I still have to take photos, and I have to write the listing. I may have already said this. When you see this video, at that point, they will be listed in my Etsy shop, and I will put a link to them below in the description box. Once again, I thank you for stopping by and listening to me fumble through these videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. I always say that, but I always mean it. So, once again, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.